Hi everyone, this is Diana Palm, the Love Witch, and today we're going to be talking about some different ways that you may experience grief. You may be experiencing grief from losing a loved one to death, or it could also be a difficult breakup or divorce. We all experience grief many times throughout our life. In this video, I'm going to share how you can actually shift the energy of grief in your life to really embrace your life and new love again. First, we're going to begin with the loss of a loved one through death. You'll be familiar with the 5 most common stages of grief. They are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But I would like to introduce to you the 6th stage of grief, which is the spirit visit phase. This phase of your grief stays with you forever, and this is the phase that renews your hope in living, that allows you to really move forward with a healed heart so that you can love your life again and you can love somebody new. I discuss the spirit visit phase in most of my work through my YouTube videos, the books that I write, and the work that I do with my private clients, because I find that what we really suffer from at the end of a relationship, whether it be through death, breakup, or divorce, is the severing of a connection. Oftentimes, a sudden ending of a relationship can leave you in a state of shock because you're no longer connected to your loved one's energy. If you've ever been connected to somebody or had a lot of hope surrounding a relationship and then suddenly been ghosted, then you know what this feels like because your energy has been severed very quickly without an explanation, without closure, and it's as if you're experiencing a death, even though the person's still living. This kind of energy can also impact you in exactly the same way as losing a loved one to death. So let's talk about this in terms of energy. When you're connected to somebody and loving them, you're carrying the energy in your heart. And when it suddenly is severed, it feels as if your heart is breaking. It feels empty, void. You may experience confusion, loss of will to live, depression, and even PTSD. What many people do with this empty space and all this painful energy that they carry in their heart is try to attract somebody new to connect with, to fill that void and to replace the energy that they were accustomed to getting from another person. Now, when you're doing this, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to truly heal your own heart so that you can vibrate higher into your next connection that would come in a more healed way. When you take time to heal your heart first before getting connected, you actually create little connection points around your aura that people can come in and connect with. As you're healing your heart by taking your time and space to feel all the feelings, to go through all the stages of grief, you're rebuilding your life and finding a way to nurture yourself and fill yourself up with self-love. That means doing things that make you happy, spending time with people that make you happy, but also taking the opportunity to spend time alone and really getting to know yourself, getting to the point where you love yourself and where you enjoy spending time one-on-one with you. You could fill that time with adventures, with travel, outdoor activities, different types of hobbies, but I highly recommend doing new things, connecting with new people so that you can actually grow from the person that you initially were that experienced the painful ending or trauma into the new version of you that's been trying to emerge. When we don't allow ourselves to go through this growth process and we simply hold everything in place, we keep the same job, we keep the same friends, we maintain the same activities in our life, and we have a loss of one person, it's almost human nature to bring in a new person and to maintain everything in life as you already know it. But this experience is calling you forward. This experience is trying to grow your soul so that you can evolve, so that you can learn more virtues, so that you can become the newer, more healed, stronger, more confident, more loving version of you. I see people resisting this growth. They hold everything in place and replace the person that's missing with somebody new. However, when I see people that are truly into doing the inner work to heal their soul, they actually don't rush to fill a space that's missing. If you find yourself holding on to status quo, then you may be experiencing the stagnant model of grief. by replacing the person that left with somebody new and maintaining everything else the same. But there is another choice, and this is the one that I prefer. When you take your time and space to nurture yourself, to heal your heart, to move through the lessons and all the many different phases of life that you have lived through, you start to really grow from the inside out, and you do evolve as a human. And when you feel ready and more in alignment to meet and connect with somebody special, you'll have moved out of the stagnant model and into the growth model. What the growth model looks like is self-love, self-actualization. It means transforming yourself from the inside out and not trying to hold everything in place. This is when you actually allow yourself to grow through your life changes, allowing yourself to move into the uncomfortable spaces of your life, maybe some areas of your life that you have never experienced before, allowing there to be space for growth, allowing new connections, allowing new people to enter your life, allowing yourself to really explore and discover new things about yourself as you're experiencing new life experiences. What I see energetically is that this actually opens up and creates new points of connection all around your aura. You actually create a new environment to attract people into. Grief can be tricky and layered because while we truly love and miss the person that left our life, a lot of our own grief is centered around our identity without them. Who are we? What are we going to do? What's our purpose in life? And we're missing the actual connection and the feed of love that we get from an individual that we're connected with. Most of the grief we carry is the impact of the missing love. And it is not having the ability to express love and give our love to anybody or feel love back from another. And that's why it really is important to do your healing work so that you can reestablish those new connections and allow yourself to grow through the experience and emerge in a new higher vibration and bring in new fulfilling relationships to meet you where you're at. Most people don't realize, but once you have lost somebody very significant in your life, if you have done your healing, you will have grown into a whole new version of yourself. There's no way to stay the same through grief. There is no way to stay stagnant in who you were and to move through life almost as if you have blinders on, trying to recreate the same thing you once had, but you never ever will. And so the only real option is to allow yourself this growth, allow yourself the discomfort of moving forward and finding out who you're going to turn into next, who you're going to become, and allow yourself to form new connections and new ways of behaving in relationship and new ways of experiencing relationships. If your grief has been created through the death of a loved one, then it is really important to move into the 6th stage of grief, the spirit visit phase. This is where you begin to recognize that life never leaves the earth after our physical body dies, that your loved one's spirit is really with you. And the easiest way to do this is to begin to really notice the signs and symbols from the other side, to recognize that when you dream about them and you have conversations with them, that those are real experiences. Those are called dream visits, and those qualify as ADCs, after death communications. When you receive that kind of continued connection with your loved one, you know that you're still connected. You know that they have not left you, and that in this new phase of life, they're stepping back from the physical, allowing you to move forward, wanting you to make new connections, wanting you to fall in love again, wanting you to advance and move forward. And they will be helping you every step of the way from the other side. Sometimes I see people staying in a holding pattern where they don't want to love somebody else. They want to hold on to the love they had in the past. But that version has already changed. And there has been space created for somebody new to step into. So prepare yourself for that new person. As long as you're here, there's still somebody to love. There is always somebody to love. I've also seen people get stuck in grief after a very difficult breakup or divorce. And that version of grief will be more centered around blame and anger and frustration, blaming loss of money, blaming infidelity, blaming incompatibility, or how this person did not show up for this person, or how you feel fooled by love because it didn't go the distance. But we're not all meant to go the distance. We are meant to come together to love each other, share a certain time with each other on the path until one or both people outgrows that energy. It's possible to recognize that you're with a partner that you love dearly, but that you are no longer growing with. And that's what I call sacred endings, when you can leave a relationship with love and respect and wish your partner well and separate things fairly so that you can move on and that they can move on to find their next appropriate mate. When somebody's resistant to moving on and healing their heart, their form of grief keeps them in the anger phase. They do not move through all of the phases. Even with a difficult breakup or divorce, you can still experience the spirit visit phase. In this case, your ex-partner is not on the other side, they're still living, but the visitations you will receive will be from your ancestors in heaven, or your spirit guide team, or your animal totems. The universe will pull you forward. The universe will help you by providing signs to you that you're on the right path. These could be white feathers, they could be animals that enter your path, or synchronistic numbers. It could be any amount of signs and synchronicities, or other forms of ADC, after death communication, from your ancestors. You may receive angel signs. You may feel a new version of you emerging as you grow through the grief process and enter the spirit visit phase. This phase is necessary to advance you and to move you into the version of you that you were always meant to be. We don't typically get there without having our hearts broken, without experiencing loss, or without experiencing death. If you've lost a loved one through death, a difficult breakup, or divorce, then this is your time to do your inner work, to heal yourself through self-nurturing and through expansion. Go ahead and move through the initial 5 stages of grief and then into the spirit visit phase. In this phase, you know that you're being guided. In this phase, you know that you're protected. In this phase, you know that you're being supported by the spirit world, by all of the angels and saints, by your ancestors who love you, that you're not alone. And this is why it works, regardless if your loved one died in death or through a difficult breakup or divorce. Either it will be this spirit visiting you or all the other loved ones in heaven that connect with you and guide you from the other side. You're never alone, but the process you need to go through is about feeding and nurturing your own soul so that you can evolve and experience love again, to continue to love, to continue to connect with others, to continue to allow yourself to move forward and experience the next version of you, experience the next path that's coming for you. And trust me, your loved one that passed, they are with you every step of the way, cheering you on, wanting you to be loved, wanting you to live your best life, wanting you to try new things, not wanting you to cling to the past or what you had together. That was the older version of you. Death has created a new version for you. And as you move through this process, and you become your next version, you're being supported and loved so much. Remember, you have a contract to meet your divine counterpart. And if you have already been with your divine counterpart and they died, then you came here with more than one contract. You will meet another soulmate companion to absolutely love. You have another one on the way. When you stay in grief or denial or anger, you're literally not recognizable to the soulmate who's looking for you. So take your time to heal, but do not get stuck in any of the phases along the way. If you feel like you need help, this is what I do. I help people heal their spiritual energy and prepare them for new love so that they can become a vibrational match to connect with somebody else who's ready for them. If you're interested in working with me, I offer package sessions to help you heal your grief and move you through this process to restore your heart, your energy, and prepare you for next level love for yourself first, and then a new soulmate. If you're interested in that, be sure to check out my services at www.dianapalm.com. If you have experienced grief through death, a difficult breakup, or divorce, let me know that down in the comments below, and let me know what you did to love and nurture yourself through the process so that you could get to your next level life and love. If you're interested in learning more about death and the afterlife, be sure to check out my new book, which will help you to spiritually understand death and how you can connect with your loved ones on the other side. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like down below, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you in the next video.